Hello, ladies, love and light. As you can see from the title of the video, it is called How to Spot a Man of Character. If you are new here, my name is Love. I am also known as the Self Love Guru. I am a confidence coach. I am a licensed clinician. I am a therapist. And I absolutely love talking to women and empowering women on how to date, how to navigate interpersonal relationships, and also how to have confidence in themselves. And I think one of the best ways to build your confidence is to study, to educate yourself. And that's why I make these videos. Okay. So I will not make you wait any further. If you are not following me on Instagram, please do that. My tag is Hanging Out with Love. You can also follow me on Facebook, same tag. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, click the subscribe button now. So, number one, a man of character. A man of character will be teachable. I know there is this unrealistic idea that a man is just supposed to know how to treat you, right? And when I think about that, I cringe a little bit because I'm like, how many single women are on the planet? As a matter of fact, I'm about to look it up because that's what I do. 1 in 8 women aged 18 to 60 worldwide are unmarried. So that is about 13%, it says. And this is okay. So it's giving some stats about Africa, Latin America, etc. Right? So 1 in 8 women aged 18 to 60 worldwide are unmarried. So that is one statistic for you. And that came from News Gallup. I don't know where they got it from. It's a .com website, which means it is not a scholarly reference. If you're looking for a scholarly reference, make sure it says .org, .edu, .gov, something like that. Not that those sites can't still lie, but they are considered more reputable than a .com because anybody can get a .com website. So that's just a nugget for you when we're doing clinical research. However, I say that to say there's so many different women and personalities out there. Think about the women that he dated before you. Forget the globe. What about the women he dated before you? Every woman is different. Think about your friend group and how they like to be treated, what their love languages are. If you have sisters, your mom, right? Every woman likes to be loved differently. Every woman's idea of what it means to have a good man is different. So to expect a man to come in just knowing you, that's not realistic. Okay. And this is why I'm talking about character, because there are certain things that are teachable, right? And things that he should be teachable in. However, there's other things that you shouldn't dare consider to teach. So I'll give you an example. A man knowing to buy you flowers, that's a teachable thing because not all women like flowers. Not all women have been bought flowers before to even have an interest in it. A man knowing what type of restaurant to take you to for dinner, teachable. A man knowing what you like when you are upset, whether you need space or whether you need to be consoled, teachable. So as long as that man is teachable, there can be some reconciliation there because that means that he's willing to learn you and grow with you, right? And you'll know that through his change of behavior. When you drop those subtle hints and when you have those direct conversations, because sometimes it calls for direct communication, and he adheres to that, or he understands it and he's able to reflect that information back to you, that's a great skill that a man of character would have. Okay? The next one, a man of character respects your time. This is so important. This is not to say that a man will never be late. This is not to say that a man will never cancel a date on you. Things happen. Sometimes we as women have to cancel dates as well, right? But when are you telling him that? When is he reaching out to you? Is it minutes before he's scheduled to pick you up? Is he blowing you off to hang out with someone else? Oh, my friend just got in town. I had no idea he was going to be here. Things like that. Now, a man of character would check in with his friend, say, hey, I got this lady that I'm seeing. I'm really liking her. I'm about to take her out, but after that, I'll hang out with you. Or even give you a call and say, hey, my friend is in town. Would you mind if he came out to dinner with us? I would love for him to meet you, right? And you can decide from there what you'd like to do about it. However, it's really about that communication factor. Does he consider you enough to let you know as soon as he finds out that he can't make it? Or does he have you waiting, getting dressed, thinking that he's about to pull up and then you not knowing what's going on, or he's inconsistent when it comes to times? This is another thing I'll say. Don't even allow it to get to the point where he can be inconsistent about times. Like if you have a man who says something like, oh, well, Friday or Saturday, but we'll play it by ear. And then Friday gets here and you don't hear anything. And then Saturday morning comes around. He's like, are we still on for tonight? Like, no. Set a date, set a time. Like, I need something exact on my calendar. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. It is what it is. Right? So don't let it get to that point. But yes, definitely respect your time. So the third one, of a man of character, he's responsible. And you can tell this in the way that he carries himself, the things that he has to do. Does he go to his mom's house every other Saturday to cut the grass? Does he have to cut dates short and say, oh, babe, I can't stay out past midnight. Let me take you home. I know we're having a good time, but I have to be up in the morning. That's respectable. And you should take that with grace. Not, oh, can we stay out late? Because you shouldn't want to stay out with the guy that late anyway. But just making sure that you honor those responsibilities that he has, because that's a good thing. Now, if he starts to neglect those responsibilities, like, oh, I was supposed to go do this, but I wanted to hang out with you instead. And some women think that's cute. To me, depending on what it is, that is a red flag. Because this responsibility came well before me. And now you're just neglecting it so we can hang out. Why, instead of making time for us to hang out in a different way? So like I said, depending on what it is, that can be a red flag. All right, but use your discernment. You will know. Trust me. The next thing, and this is how you will know. It's not based off of something that you value. It's based off of something that he says he values. So if he says he values family, but he's blowing his family off to hang out with you when they have a set date, like let's say Sunday dinner, tradition, grandma's house, right? And he just starts blowing, oh, I really wanted to see you. I couldn't stop thinking about you. Red flag. And some men will actually use that against you. Like, oh, I blew off my family to hang out with you. And you know how important my family is to me. Like, I know how important you said your family was to you. But then you started blowing off grandma's Sunday dinner. So how important is it? Right? Anywho, The next one, he practices self-care. You can tell the man loves himself. That's a man of character. Even if self-care looks like his phone is on do not disturb after a certain time. Even if self-care looks like having to tell you no to something because he absolutely has no energy. Like, yeah, babe, okay, yeah, I can definitely come over there and help you move this. But tomorrow, though, like, it's last minute. I'm tired. I'm going to give me some rest. And I'll come over tomorrow, Saturday morning, well rested. And I'll move whatever you want me to move, right? Setting a clear boundary and still giving you what you want, but being able to honor himself in the process. Some people will tell you the opposite. They want you to think that if a man is not a yes man to everything, giving in to your every demand, your every concern, your every emotion, that he just doesn't care about you. And that's not true. Like, let's be real. It's cool, right? When a man does that for us. But you have to ask yourself, if he was like this with anybody else, would that be attractive to me? And the answer is no. So when I hear women say, oh, well, I want him to do whatever I want him to do, but then, not do that. If he does whatever it is that you want him to do, he will do whatever it is that anybody else want him to do. A spineless man is a spineless man. A man who does not value himself does not value himself, period. So however somebody's treating you or however they move when it comes to you, believe that. That's not a man of character. A man that can't think for himself, that's not a man of character. Trust me. Trust me when I say you do not want that. Just trust me on this. Trust me on this. Okay? As a matter of fact, I can do a video, if you ladies would like, on how to identify a yes man. Because I'm telling you, he will make your life very difficult. These are the men who will just volunteer their time, won't ask you what you have going on, was planned for the family, won't consider any of that before he says yes to other people. This is the kind of man who will put your well-being, your time with him, your quality time on the back burner to appease somebody else. Because in any situation, it's about how that other person is feeling, right? So if they're at the whim constantly of everyone's emotions, how is that going to fare well for your relationship? And I'll leave it at that. I just got disgusted thinking about it. I don't want a yes man. I'm sorry. I want a man that tells me yes, but I don't want a yes man. There is a difference. Okay. All right. So the last thing, identifying a man of character. He is committed to personal growth. What does this mean? Personal growth, and I will read the definition. Y'all know I like definition. I love definitions. It says personal growth is an ongoing process that starts from an early age, but mostly shaped by parents, teachers, and the environment. I like that. Personal growth means different things to different people. In general, it refers to the self improvement of your skills, knowledge, personal qualities, life goals, and outlook. That's good. That's real good. So, let me give you my definition of personal growth. Personal growth is anything that this man does to level up his mindset, level up his lifestyle, and constantly be on a path of growth. And when I say constantly, I mean continuously. This is not just taking a class at work so that he can make more money and get a better paying position. That's excellent and that is encouraged. However, you also want him to be working on his character. Is he a man of faith? If not, what does he do for personal growth? Does he meditate? Does he, get massages to release certain energies in his body? Is he a praying man? Does he do affirmations and speak over himself? Because honestly, I think prayer and affirmation are very similar. Some people would even argue that they're the same. Is he a man who can check himself and you don't have to constantly follow up behind him and say, oh, well, I don't know. Oh, well, I don't think. Because then you're taking yourself out of your femininity to tell that man what to do. And that's not going to be attractive. Not for long, anyway. Some men think that that's what they want, and they don't want that. All right. Is he committed to personal growth? Does he read books? Does he watch videos? Does he have a favorite inspirational speaker? And you can ask him, who are your role models? Who are men that you look up to? If I ain't no man that I look up to. I look up to myself. Or he says, well, I look up to my dad. And his dad doesn't have any noble qualities, or he doesn't have a continuous relationship with this person who's constantly learning himself so he can teach him things. He's probably not being genuine. Like, really read between the lines. So when I tell you, ladies, about all of these qualities, I want you to read between the lines. Don't take it at face value. Don't go down the list and ask him, oh, well, are you teachable? You observe that by teaching him things, by when there's a disagreement, you being able to communicate. And that's another thing, it's going to take for you to have effective communication skills in order to observe these things. Because otherwise, if you're not conveying what you need from a person, how can they show you what type of person they are in response to that, right? How could they? You expect to observe something about a person before you've made your needs known or before you've even identified for yourself what your needs are? That's not realistic. All right, so I love you, ladies. I got my hair done today and I'm just like loving the look. I wanted honey blonde on the bottom, so that's what I got. So it's just like the bottom 2 rows, and I just feel like a baddie at this point, okay? Anywho, I hope that these tips helped you, ladies. And, I feel compelled to say this. I'm not sure who's watching this video, but if you don't have a father, don't fret. I feel like there are situations we can be in to put us at a disadvantage, but I think a disadvantage is also how you're looking at the situation. So, you not having a father, first of all, why didn't you have a dad? Is it because, your parents couldn't get along? Is it because he passed away? Was he incarcerated? Like, was it by those extenuating circumstances? Because either way, it was out of your control, right? The second thing I will say is to recognize that that is out of your control. So you can't force a parent to be in your life, even if it was your mom. You can't force that. But right, my spirit is telling me about fathers right now. So even if it is your father, it's okay. I want you to take a notebook, get you a spiral notebook like this, and I want you to write down the skills that you wish you would have learned from a father. Just write it down, whether it be how to identify men, how to vet men, how to interact with a man. Write all of that stuff down. And then from that list, I want you to go online, and you can even talk to a few people, but write down a list of resources that can get you that information. You can look up books on it. I have some books, hangingoutwithlove.com. You can listen to a podcast. You can consult with other men in your family that you may trust, an uncle, a grandfather. But just write down all of the potential resources you have it, and then go get that information. Don't feel like just because you didn't have a dad that you are at a disadvantage, or that you're doomed, or that you can't learn certain concepts, because your life circumstances are your life circumstances, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But you can change how you choose to respond to it. And the best thing for you to do is to respond to it knowing that we live in the age of information. This is also the age of technology. And so you have so many resources at your fingertips that there is no disadvantage for you. Okay, so I love you. Have a blessed day. I am having a webinar coming up next Saturday called How to Be a Polite Itch. And that will be on Zoom, and we're going to be discussing how to set boundaries with men, with your careers, with your family, with your friends, with everyone, and how to do it in just the most polite way, but also making sure that you're putting your foot down and that people know what it is. Period. Have a good night.